Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Soy Profe Higdon, and we are going to go over question 3 from the quiz together, from quiz 5. And for this question, you're tasked with conjugating various verbs, including IR verbs like escribir, ER verbs like creer, and AR verbs like enseñar in the present tense. So let's start with the first question. Yo escribir. Based on what we know from conjugating verbs, we're always going to need the same thing first. The verb stem, which is escribe in this case. Then we have to think about what ending we want for an IR verb with a yo subject. And luckily, for pretty much every regular verb in the present tense, the ending is just going to be o. So yo escribo, perfect. Da, da, da. Then let's move on to the second one. Yo grade. Similar process. We want the stem gre, and then just like before, we're gonna add an o. Yo creo que. And every time we see a word like que, a connector word, a conjunction, that tells us that the subject might, not definitely, but it may change. So whenever we see words like que, we need to be on the lookout for a possible subject change. And that is what we have here. Su nominación, the nomination, is now the subject. It's not yo anymore. We're talking about the nomination and the verb merecer. So we want the verb stem, merec, meres in this case, and we want the third person singular ending for merecer, which is just an E. Creo que su nominación merece consideración por varias razones. The subject has changed to el profesor Luna. We have a new sentence, but that's okay because it's still a third person singular subject. And for the verb exigir, exig is the stem, and so we want the E ending. El profesor Luna exige, demands, seeks mucho de sus estudiantes, a lot from his students, y siempre blank en mucha participación. Here we have E, a connector word, but we don't have anything to show us that there's a change of subject. So the subject is still el profesor Luna, and we will want insiste, because that's the stem plus the E ending. Cuando el profesor Luna no enseña is the stem. And now we have to pay attention because we have an AR verb, not an ER or an IR, an AR verb. And some people try to make enseñar an ER verb and write something like enseñe. And that's not what we want here. We want just the regular old present tense, and for a third person singular subject in the present tense with AR verbs, it's just an A. Mientras que, we have que again, so let's keep our eyes out for possible subject changes. And that is what we have here. Now we're talking about todos los profesores de esta universidad. All the professors at this university apoyar, support their students. So apoy, and then the third person plural ending for AR verbs is an. So apoyan a sus estudiantes. And look here, we have sus estudiantes, a specific group of people, as the direct object, which is why we have la personal. Me parece que el profesor Luna lo hace un poco más. So it sounds like Professor Luna is going above and beyond with supporting his students. On this cue, siempre asiste a las exhibiciones de arte. So he's always attending, art exhibitions, um, offering, useful critiques and comments. And mis colegas y yo. And this y yo is very important because you could see this mis colegas, my colleagues, and think, oh, it's a third person plural subject. No big deal. I'm just going to put admiran. And some people did do that on the quiz. And although that may make sense given the mis colegas, we also have y yo and I. So given that I am included in this group, it goes from a third person plural subject to a first person plural subject. So to nosotros. And because of that, we would want admiramos. So just like that. I hope this video is helpful. If you want more videos like this in the future, please let me know. Y chao, hasta pronto.